Hello, I am Abhishek. The question is Statement 1. In the sciences, even questionable examples of research fraud are harshly punished. A. But no such mechanism exists in humanities. Much of what humanities researchers call research does not lead to results that are replicable by other scholars. B. Given the importance of interpretation in historical and literary scholarship, humanities researchers are in a position where they can explain away deliberate and even systematic distortion. C. Mere suspicion is enough for funding to be cut off. Publicity guarantees that careers can be effectively ended. D. Forgeries that take the form of pastiches in which the forger intersperses fake and real parts can be defended as mere mistakes or aberrant misreadings. 6. Scientists fudging data have no such defenses. Solution. The first link that we obtain here is 1C. Statement 1 says that in the sciences, even questionable examples of research fraud are harshly punished. Then, Statement C is the most appropriate sentence to carry forward this idea. It says that mere suspicion is enough for funding to be cut off. If the funding is cut off, we are talking about those examples of research that are hardly punished. The other link that we can obtain here is D6. D says that forgeries that take the form of pastiches in which the forger intersperses fake and real parts can be defined as mere mistakes and aberrant misreadings. Now, in statement D, we talk about the defense mechanisms adopted by some forgers by mentioning those as mere mistakes or aberrant misreadings. Statement 6 carries forward the idea most appropriately by saying that scientists do not have such defenses. Therefore, the link D6. Combining these two links, we can say that the answer is option number 3. Thank you. Hello, I am Abhishek. The question is Statement 1. Idealism, the philosophical view that the mind or spirit constitutes the fundamental reality, has taken several distinct but related forms. A. Subjective idealism denies that material objects exist independently of human perception and thus stands opposed to both realism and naturalism. B. Plato is often considered the first idealist philosopher, chiefly because of his metaphysical doctrine of forms. C. Objective idealism accepts common sense realism, the view that material objects exist, but rejects naturalism, according to which the mind and spiritual values have emerged from material things. D. Plato considered the universal idea of form, for example, redness or goodness, more real than a particular instance of the form, a real object, a good action. 6. According to Plato, the world of changing experience is unreal, and the idea or form which does not change and which can be known only by reason constitutes true reality. Solution. On reading all of these sentences and understanding the meaning, the first link that we obtain here is 1CA. Let us see how do we get the link 1CA. Statement 1 says that idealism, the philosophical view that mind or spirit constitutes the fundamental reality, has taken several distinct but related forms. In short, I can say that this sentence talks about idealism taking several distinct forms. Then statement C and statement A mention these distinct but related forms, and the forms are number 1, objective idealism, that is mentioned in statement C, and the second one is subjective idealism mentioned in statement A. Therefore, 1CA is an appropriate link. The other link that we can obtain here is BD6. B talks about Plato is often considered the first idealist philosopher, chiefly because of his metaphysical doctrine of forms. Statement D carries forward the idea mentioned in B. Plato considered the universal idea of form, for example redness or goodness, more real than a particular instance of the form. And statement 6 concludes the idea. According to Plato, the world of changing experience is unreal, and the idea or form which does not change and which can be known only by reason constitutes true reality. On combining all of these links, we get the answer as option number 2. Thank you. Hello, I am Abhishek. The question is statement 1. Horses and communism were, on the whole, a poor match. A. Fine horses bespoke the nobility the party was supposed to despise. B. Communist leaders, when they visited villages, preferred to see cows and pigs. C. Although a working horse was just about tolerable, the communists were right to be wary. D. Peasants from Poland to the Hungarian Putza preferred their horses to party dogma. 6. A farmer pride is his horse. His cow may be thin, but his horse must be fat, went a Slovak saying. Solution. The first link that we obtain here is B, C. Statement B mentions communist leaders, when they visited villages, preferred to see cows and pigs, and C says that although a working horse was just about tolerable, the communists were right to be wary. There are two ways we can obtain the link BC. The first one is connecting communist leaders and the communists in B and C, and secondly, the process mentioned in D, that is communists preferring to see cows and pigs, can be assumed as that the communists were trying to be cautious or they were right to be wary. Hence the link BC. The link BC is available in option 2 and 3. To get a clearer answer, we need other link. The other link is D6. D mentions that peasants from Poland to the Hungarian Putza preferred their horses to party dogma. Now, here we know that they are preferring horses to party dogma. And what is the reasons of their preference is mentioned in statement 6. The reason is a farmer's pride is his horse. His cow may be thin, but his horse must be fat. And that justifies the link D6 and gives us the answer as option number 3. Thank you. Hello, I am Abhishek. The question is statement 1. A camera is a device that directs an image focused by a lens or other optical system onto a photosensitive surface in a light-tight enclosure. A. In simple cameras, the lens is generally of the fixed focus variety. B. More complicated cameras have a system to achieve good focus that is manually or automatically actuated in order to vary the lens to focal plane distance. C. In this very basic sense, these components perform the same function today that they did when the photography was invented nearly 150 years ago. D. No provision is made in them to focus on objects at varying distances from the camera. 6. The focal plane is the point behind the lens where the image comes into focus. Solution. The first link in this question is 1C. 1 says that a camera is a device that directs an image focused by a lens or other optical system onto a photosensitive surface in a light-tight enclosure. And C says that in this very basic sense, these components perform the same function and so on. The components referred to in statement C is or are the components of that has been mentioned in statement 1, that is the camera, the lens or other optical system. Therefore, the link 1C. The other link that we can obtain is AD. Let us see how do we get the link AD. A says that in simple cameras, the lens is generally of the fixed focus variety. And D says that no provision is made in them to focus on objects. The provision in the device, which is referred to by the word them in statement D, is the one that has been mentioned in A by the name simple cameras and the lens. Therefore, the link AD. Combining these two links, we get the answer as option number 3. Thank you. Hello, I am Abhishek. The question is statement 1. These devastating war injuries changed these American soldiers' lives forever. A. Now he has to have his leg hooked up to a machine. B. The boy who lost his nose will never again be looked at as a normal person. C. The major was the greatest fencer in Italy. D. The boy with the injured leg loved playing football. 6. Now the major's hands resembled a baby's. He, like the other boy, used a machine to recuperate. Solution. The first link that we obtain in this question is D. A. D says that the boy with the injured leg loved playing football. And A says that now he has to have his leg hooked up to a machine. He in statement A refers to the boy. Therefore, the link DA. The other link that we get here is C6. C mentions that the major was the greatest fencer in the Italy. And 6 says that now the major's hand resembled a baby's. So the link in C6 is through the keyword major. Combining these two links, we easily get the answer as option number 4. Thank you.